This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Carifta Swimming Championships got started this morning down in Aruba. Our Chris Saunders was poolside.
Team Bahamas finally in the water for competition here at the Carifta Swimming Championships in Savaneta, Aruba. Team Bahamas with at least one competitor in every single event.
In the 11-12 boys 200-meter breaststroke, Isaac Bastian came out strong. His time, 2:48.7, and he's just getting started.
It was intentional because I figured just go out faster to try get a good spot in finals, which I did, and I'm pretty happy about it.
In the 13 to 14 girls 100-meter breast, Victoria Russell and Aubrey Higgs going after a 1-2 punch for Team Bahamas.
My goal, which we had to give to our coach, was to negative split it, but I'm not really the person to negative split considering like I go 5 seconds faster or slower. So my coach said to just try, if I have to sprint the first 100, it's okay, and slow down as long as I'm up there.
I have a strategy that hopefully it'll work tonight.
What is your strategy? Negative split? Is that
yeah,
what you're looking at?
I'm trying to not go out too hard on the 50, but I mean the first 50, but try to keep it up the third 50 like the most, because that's where people tend to like slack off. So that's where I'm trying to pull ahead.
In the 15 to 17 boys 200-meter breaststroke, Dustin Tynes, besting the rest of the field by at least 5 seconds, says he's going to do a lot more in the final tonight.
I'm guaranteeing something.
In the 15 to 17 boys 50-meter backstroke, Dionisio Carey sits in a solid second spot heading into the final. He's looking to turn that performance into a gold medal.
Basically, all I have to do is swim my own race. Then I have to work on my start and make sure I have a good start. So once I have a good start, pretty much I'll have a really good race.
In the 13 to 14 boys 200-meter breaststroke, Joshua Wong sits in third spot. His time 2:45.6 heading into the final. Also in the 11-12 boys, Sammy Gibson in the 100-meter fly, his time 1:04.63 puts him in a good position to strike for gold, but he's going to have to pull off a great swim to get that. In fourth and fifth seed going into the 50-meter backstroke for 11-12 boys, Peter Morley and Telaez Folks, they are in good position as well. And then ironically, swimming in two separate heats in the 15 to 17 girls 100-meter fly, Andreas Weish and Simone Stirrup got the exact same time, 1 minute, 8.97 seconds. They're both seeded fifth going into the final tonight.
Team Bahamas in a good position to pick up a few medals tonight. 7 swimmers are seated in the top 3. 2 more seated in that 4th spot, and even 2 more seated in the 5th spot. So the Bahamas with a possibility of picking up to 11 medals tonight just in individual races. There are also 6 relays tonight in the 4x1 freestyle. So the Bahamas in a good position to pick up a slew of medals here on this first day of the Carifta Swimming Championships. Covering the Carifta Swimming Championships in Savaneta, Aruba, I'm Chris Saunders, ZNS Total Sports.
Well, we're going to move on to Carifta track and field now. Of course, that finished up last night in Martinique. Team Bahamas, they finished up there with 20 medals, 1 gold, 8 silver, and 11 bronze. That was good enough for a 7th place finish overall, well below the 31 medals we captured last year here on home soil. Now, next year's games are set for St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, still talking track and field, the War Eagle Invitational that took place over the long holiday weekend in Auburn, Alabama. A number of Bahamians in competition, and our Charles Fisher, he had a front row seat.
Let's go right to the 200s, which featured the Bahamas' last 2 World Junior Champions. And coming down the stretch like 2 thoroughbreds, Anthony Strawn in the black would get the best of Shaniqua Q Ferguson in the pink and blue in 22.78 to 23.10. Strawn was not done. She would then complete the double, winning the century in 11.36 seconds, holding off Viala Mae Robinson in 11.46.
I'm very satisfied with the times that I put down, even though my time the week before was faster than the 200. But I am very grateful that I came out, competed, and finished the race and was still healthy and able to walk off.
I felt like my race was very good. My speed is coming around and everything is ticking on time.
Now the men's 200, where last year's Carifta champ Teray Smith in the all-orange representing Auburn stopped the clock on a personal best 20.76 seconds.
I'm happy for a legal PR because when I went at Carifta, it was win-aided. I'm just happy to be moving forward with Coach Roy.
Let's now head to the long jump pit where Bianca Stewart sought to win the competition with a leap of 21 feet 8 inches. Arkansas and Andros native Tamara Myers fourth, 19 feet 6.
This is my second competition. I jumped what I expected. So just have to move on. Slowly but surely I'll get to where I need to.
It went all right. I was expecting a better jump, but it was tough coming back from the 100 and trying to regroup and getting my strides back in order because I was back and forth over the board. But overall it was good. I already got my mark in for regionals.
To the men's long jump, overshadowed by the return of Superman Levan Sands, former Kennesaw State Owls John Amelie popped 24 feet 4 for second.
I still need to work on a few more things as far as my approach. Other than that, progress is progress.
Well, it was a good day for Bahamian athletes here in Auburn, Alabama. For ZNS Tues Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
All right, thanks a lot, Charles. Well, our men's national softball team will leave town on Thursday ahead of their CAC Games qualifier, which gets underway on Friday in Cali, Colombia. Romel Fish Knowles is a former president in the Bahamas Softball Federation, so he is fully aware of what it's going to take for the Bahamas to advance.
I think always you want to make a transition, and I think they've been able to do that. Obviously, the questions will, I guess, raise the pitching. Do we have the high quality pitching to compete at the international level? Obviously, most notably missing is the services of Edney Bethel. And, you know, obviously the management team perhaps have a vision. But we'll have to wait and see how they do because Edney Bethel of any national team not leaving the Bahamas, despite his age, he's still the best pitcher in the Bahamas, and he can play all 9 positions and play them fairly well. So we'll have to wait and see. But I don't want to second guess these guys. They've been in the business now. I stepped aside a bit, but we'll wait and see if having Edney on that team would have made a big difference.
After an extensive search, the Bahamas Global Sports Foundation, in conjunction with the Bahamas Basketball Federation, have identified the athletes who will take part in the top 50 camp this July at the Kendall Isaacs Gym, and the process was tedious.
Always is the case. I think we're at least 9/10 in terms of getting this thing absolutely correct. I'm sure there are going to be people who think that they should have been on the list, and there are persons that may be on the list that people think that ought not be. But I would like to advise, as always the case, if you watch the NBA, there's always somebody that didn't make the All-Star that should have been to the All-Star. And so the process is not a perfect process, but we did indeed try our best to make sure that we got it as best to perfect this first time.
Now tonight we continue with the countdown of the top 50, and checking in at number 49 is 15-year-old Stephen Johnson. Johnson is a 5'7", 125-pound 9th grader at SC McPherson. As always, you can keep up to date with the top 50 by logging on to BahamasTop50.com. A new athlete will be added each day at 12:01 a.m. The Commonwealth Bank Giants are back on the mountaintop in the New Providence Basketball Association. The Giants won Game 7 on Saturday night to dethrone the Mailboat Cybots, and they were so confident heading in, they even had championship shirts ready to pass out.
We was down 3-0, and it feels great to come back 4 straight and sweeping them a backdoor sweep.
It was a tough loss for us tonight. Our guys didn't seem to came with, they wanted it bad enough as the Giants wanted. You know, the Giants, they fought this season. In fact, this series without most of their players. And I think they use that as an inspiration to come every night and fight. Our guys, you will somehow seem to lay down and play there, take them for granted. It is what it is. The team that wanted it most came on one tonight.
Well, you had to wait the whole long holiday weekend, but just as we promised, here's a look at part 2 of our ZNS Sports Challenge. Leg 2 of the challenge saw teams descend on Mario's Bowling and Entertainment Palace. After a whole week of trash talking, side bets, and bragging about who's going to come out on top, it was down to the teams to bring it. And for some teams, there's only one word to describe the atmosphere. And no team felt the pressure more than Team Blue with Karen and ace bowler Debbie, but the pins weren't falling for Debbie as they normally do. The SAC QC hybrid of Chris Saunders and Amelie O'Carroll were new entrants, but they started off slow as well. Not a good thing for a team already one challenge behind. After a few adjustments, the going remained tough for Team Blue. Nothing Debbie did worked out. And Debbie wasn't the only one on Team Blue to feel the heat. Teammate Karen, after throwing too many gutter balls, he threw himself out. And as expected, Team Goal captain Kelsey Johnson questioned everything not going her way. Even the ball got some abuse. As the night wore on, 3 teams emerged as the leaders. The Purple Punishers, Jared and Jimenita. The Red Comets, Chris and Amaliko. And surprisingly, Team Colorful in the running as well with Opal and Julian. Of course, the Colorful team had some issues with their coach, but nothing cures like winning.
Michaela, what's going on? You're coaching them?
The coach's mind was not listening. We told you. I told you I was falling from a child. So, see the score? This the go to get it, oyster. We had a win, but we needed to win it and the points.
202. It's not a bad score for 2-8.
Now, after 2 events, these are the standings in the ZNS Sports Challenge. Jimenita and Jared, Team Purple, they're on top with 18 points. Kelsey and Jeruin and Team Gold in second with 16 points. Opal and Julian making a big jump. Team Colorful now in third with 14 points. Corey and myself, Team Platinum, in fourth with 12 points. Despite only taking part in 1 event so far, Chris and Amaliko and Team Red, they're in the money as well. They sit fifth with 10 points. Moving on to 6th place right now, we can tell you that spot there belongs to Team Green, Ching and Charlene. They have 9 points. Anton, Davina, they are Team Black. They've fallen off the pace. They're in 7th with 8 points. Karen and Debbie, Team Blue, in 8th with 7 points. Kendino and Altavis, they are Team Gray. They sit in 9th with 5 points, while Andrew and Janea, Team Orange, rounding out the table in 9th with 4 points. And that will do it for sports. Once again, I'm Jonathan Benson. Stay tuned. Your weather forecast is still to come.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.